Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. And Valentine's is around the corner, and I thought of creating a few projects related to that theme. So here I have listed down what all I'm going to create in this video. So I'm going to make a handmade card, a bookmark, memory dex card, a belly band, tag, note paper, and an art journal layout. And only the art journal layout is going to be in the next video. Also, all are helpful either in the form of quotes or in the form of memories. So as I create projects along the way, I'll definitely talk about how I'm going to use each project, except the handmade card. Now the thing is, I just realized many years back, okay, when this is probably before my marriage, and I was totally into handmade cards, and I would create so many cards. I think I had created about 30 to 40 cards over a span of 5 years. And I wasn't sure whether if holding an exhibition of those cards would be profitable for me, or would it really be convincing at all for public to come see the cards and purchase it actually. And I had kept the exhibition in my house itself. I know a couple of my close friends had attended that exhibition. And over the next month, I was really surprised by the response, because most of the cards were sold out, and I was so happy inside. And I think this is one of the reminders. So I just secretly took my own card away from the display area so that I use it as a keepsake, as a memory of that exhibition. And this is the banner under which I used to function back then, and this is my old phone number. I am not using it in any way. And back in that time, I had placed this card for around 150 rupees, and it's a beautiful reminder that handmade cards do sell out in exhibitions, and it still does. So what makes it so special is that the technique that goes inside it, and the practice of the techniques that you can put onto your cards. That's one of the best ways you can use handmade cards and definitely sell them. A little bit have changed over the years in the way I am using cards now. So if I make a card, I often make very less cards now because of a lot of situational circumstances changing quite often. And whatever cards I make, I write quotes inside, and I do a lot of reflections. I do a lot of keepsakes of particular sentences or paragraphs in books that I read, and I put it down in the card and I save it in my journal. So that's one way I use my cards. Okay, a lot of talking. Now let's create some projects. Okay, let's start with a handmade card. Okay, for that I'm going to use Let's Craft papers, because my cardstock is filled with Let's Craft cardstocks. So I'm going to quickly take out. I'm going to score it exactly at 5, because I want it to be a 5x7 paper, and I'm going to quickly crease it using a bone folder. And yes, I want this card to be a little big card. Now the thing is, I have very few supplies left when it comes to, say, Valentine themed related stuff, ephemeras or anything. I have quite less, so I have to function with whatever I have, because I've promised this year that I'll finish, at least try to finish, the things that I have in my stash. So, and I have such folders for each season, be it Christmas or be it Halloween. So I'm going to try and figure out what I'm going to do. I have a package full of already handmade tags and some rhinestones, twine, and I've got paper pack. I've got some loose plastic sheets. These are leftover papers, by the way, leftover glitter papers, foam sheets, and that's it. So literally with these things I'm going to create all the projects. Okay, and of course with a few stamps and embossing folders. So quickly let's get started. Okay, so for approximately 2/8 of an inch, I'm going to mark it and cut it down to the required size. So here I'm just eyeballing and marking it. If you are new, kindly use your what do you say? What do you call this? Yeah, the scoring board, the big one or the small one, whichever you have. And now I'm going to trim it. And now see, fits perfectly well. Yeah. Alright, I've shifted everything this side so that I can show on the black surface, and now I'm going to trim this off to the required size. I'm going to just mark it. So now that will go here, and now again on this I'm going to add a piece of pink color cardstock. All right, so the final piece, how it's going to look like is, this is the base, first layer, second layer, and then this goes on top like this, and it's going to be in portrait size. So this is how it's going to look like. Now the thing is, I don't want too much white over here, so I'm going to add a very little amount of pinkish hue on this card. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so I've placed this, and I'm going to, with a pencil, draw a border. Okay, and now I'm going to work in this area. I have taken this Ohuhu watercolor marker, and I'm going to probably make a design. Okay, so I'm going to make, okay, I'll use this brush side itself, or probably I'll use the smaller side. Yes, I'll use the smaller side, and I'm drawing X's on all the sides. All right, and now going with a darker shade, I'm just going to add a dot like this. And now using the Distress Ink Fine Wine, I'm going to lightly distress the edges. And just thought of sharing that these big ink pads from the artistry, they are so cool. I mean, you can just open it, flip it, and use it. And once you close, you also have an option of storing your foam inside, which is so cool. So thank you, Artistry, for creating these ink pads, and especially for Indian crafters. All right, okay, so this is how it looks like, and now it's time to assemble everything. This is more going to be of an assembly card, so one here, card here, the glitter foam, and this will go on top. So for this to happen, I have to work on the top layer, and what my aim is to use these things and kind of assemble everything. These are some really fun, cute, beautiful ephemera or layered pieces that some of my pen pals had given me. So it's time to put them to use. I think this will look very cute, or okay, I'll play around a bit and then come up with a final layout. All right, so I have a little, something in my mind. So I'm going to put this element right here. So this is an assembly of some of my friends' handmade things, plus a few elements, a few ephemera pieces from an Indian brand. I forgot its name, but I have a few pieces, so I'm going to use that. So my plan is to make this as a center element, a centerpiece that's going to be the focal point. A bench over here on which this couple is standing. I'm going to just arrange this a little bit. Okay, like this. Something of this sort, and this is going to be like XOXO right here. That's my whole plan. So let me assemble everything together now. I'm going to use glue at the back, even on the petals. Okay, this is more convenient, and I'm going to use double-sided tape for the bench right here at the bottom, and the couple is going to again be raised, so I'm going to add some more foam tape, and maybe I will double it up. So this is the first raised area, and this is going to be a double raised area. Same goes over here. That's because I want this to be highly raised. Okay, and I'm going to make them stand right here. Yeah. Now I'll add this heart arrow at the back. Like this. To let it sit for some time. And for this XOXO, I'm going to add glue only on the two sides because I'm going to make it raised and curved like this. So I'm going to arrange it in such a way that it looks something like this. I'll hold it for a while. Okay, so cute. Now for the final touch, I have this heart ephemera piece. I'm going to add some glue, and this is a saved packaging, and I'm going to just put it right here. Stick it well. Use my pencil, draw a curve like a border, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. And this is how it looks like. And this is going to go right here. If I put it down, it won't be seen. I'll just put it mildly up. Yeah, I'm going to make it raised. And I'm going to add some rhinestones here. And use the distress ink to even distress the edges right here. Now let's assemble everything. So this one I'm going to make it raised. Okay, so I'll add some foam tapes. Okay, and after removing all the sheets, I'm going to place it right here on top. Okay, now I'm going to add glue. So the first layer was raised, the second layer is not. It's going to remain flat. So I'm going to add a lot of glue. Spread it with my spatula. And then stick this. Here the borders are already there, so for me it's very easy. Just follow the line of the border. And I'm going to let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, now it's time again to add some more foam tape, because again the third layer will be raised. And here I am placing it properly, making sure the borders are even. Gently pressing it, and that's it guys. The card is ready. It looks absolutely wholesome, doesn't it? Let me give you a little closer look. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Alright, now for the upcoming projects, I'm going to make it really quick at a fast speed. So I'm going to combine two things, a bookmark and a tag together. So I have distressed the edge using cotton candy shade and using a couple of journal pieces, journal cards they are called. I'm going to decorate the tag. So before that, I have used fine wine to do some stenciling and used black soot distress ink to do some more stenciling. Not being too perfect, just gently rubbing it for a little bit of effect. Now I'm tearing a few pieces from the journal cards and sticking it like so. At the bottom, I'll repeat with another journal card. These are from Prima Marketing, these journal cards. I have used scissors to cut out and make this girl as a focal point. And before that, I've stuck a small rectangular piece. So you will always see me distressing using vintage distress oxide before I stick all the elements down, because that completes the craft look. I've added a bit of, what do you call this, a ribbon. This is a cotton ribbon. Added the sentiments sweet love. Lace, yes, the correct word is lace. Now I'm placing a few hearts here and there. And this is such a cute element. I like the way it turned out, I mean, it looks as if I've added a U pin at the top. I finally decided to go ahead and use the golden rhinestone and also use a bit of Wink of Stella for the shimmery effect. And in the end, I decided to use some glossy accents. It takes a while to dry, so I had to set aside this project halfway through because I couldn't risk completing this project without the glue drying. So I'm moving ahead with another project. I'm going to create a few note papers. Now this is a regular A4 sized white color paper which I'm going to take out using my trimmer, four pieces, and each piece I'm going to decorate it differently. So for the first one I have used some washi tape. The paper is so flimsy, so I have to be very careful to not get any creases when I'm using the washi tape. And then I stuck this element. This curved ruler that I have used an Ohuhu marker to create a light border. So the first note paper is ready. Now for the second one, I'm going to create a pocket. Yeah, this is the leftover piece and I'm going to use it as a pocket. So not adding glue everywhere except at the corners. I've stuck it and I've kept it aside for drying. Now for the third one, I'm going to do some stamping. Here I have stamped an owl using VersaFine black onyx ink nicely. And I've used the Ohuhu brush markers to do some coloring. I also decided to go ahead and use a whitener to add a center heart like this and do some designing. Even thought of using my white gel pen. It gives a lovely finishing to any of the colored pieces that you do. Here the third note paper was also ready, and for the fourth one, and I'm going to do half and half washi taping. So you see me doing that on all the sides, and at the back I have to be really careful, and this is what I do usually at the back. I snip off the extra and then I take out rectangular pieces like this. Same way I'm going to do for all the sides and then finally give a touch using bone folder so that everything sticks properly. And I love rounding the edges so the note papers look like this now. I have a pocket and you can add anything you can add inside your photos or your tags and stuff like that. Now I'm going to create a belly band. This is a random paper lying in my stash and I'm going to use some pattern paper to cover it up. After covering the paper from both the sides, I decided to trim it into half. So you see me covering both the sides. And I'm going to cut it down. Why? Because I like my belly bands to be a little thinner so that when I add elements, it kind of comes out and it looks cute. So here I am playing around with all the pieces, a few punches, and I'm going to layer everything down using glue. These glitter hearts are so cute. The bunch that I used was from Itsy Bitsy. Alright, so the first belly band is ready. And for the second belly band, I have something in my mind when it comes to layering, and that's how I'm going to create. Here. Okay, so let me show you the projects that we have completed till now. Belly bands where you can just add things inside. I'll show you in my next video how I place this in my journal and do some journaling. Okay, now it's time to create memory dex cards. So I have already used my machine to run it through and get this shape. Now it's time to emboss it. And before embossing, I'm going to add some ink on top. And off camera, I have used my big machine to run it through. And this is how it looks like. After doing some distressing, I'll add a pocket from the leftover piece when I was creating a tag, come bookmark. And this is a cute pocket. Added a sentiment and some rhinestones, and the memory dex card is ready. I tried adding the eyelet, but it was too big of a hole, so I decided to just use a ribbon instead. I secured the ribbon using a lighter, and this is how it looks like. So guys, finally we have all the projects ready. A lovely tag, you can see the glossy accents, they look so pretty. This is a memory dex card, 2 belly bands, four note papers, and a greeting card. And this is how the card looks like. Now apart from the card, I'm going to use all the things that I've made in this video in my journal in the next video. So please make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any tutorials. And as you saw on my greeting card, I also added my banner name. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and yes, you can even add your tags inside your note papers like this. I have a few plans in my head, so let's see how they fructify in my journal in my next video. Thank you so much once again. Thank you for watching. See you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.